Discovering Forgiveness, the tale of the prodigal son for kids. A father had two sons, each unique in their own ways. The younger one, driven by a desire for independence, approached his father with an unusual request. He wanted his share of the inheritance, a portion of the family's wealth that was due to him in the future. The father, though taken aback, agreed to his younger son's request. He divided his assets, giving the younger son his share. This act of love and trust would set the stage for a series of events that would test the fabric of their family. With his inheritance in hand, the younger son packed his belongings. He left the comfort and security of his family home, driven by a yearning for adventure and new experiences. His destination was a far-off land, a place where he believed his dreams could take flight. Upon arriving in this distant land, the younger son embraced his newfound freedom. He indulged in every pleasure and chased every thrill, spending his wealth without a thought for tomorrow. His life became a whirlwind of reckless living, far removed from the values he was raised with. However, his carefree existence was short-lived. A severe famine struck the land, plunging it into hardship. The younger son, unprepared for such adversity, quickly found his resources depleted. Facing great need, he realized the gravity of his situation and the consequences of his choices. Remembering his father's kindness, the younger son mustered the courage to return home. Though his journey back was filled with uncertainty, his heart clung to hope. The memories of his father's love and warmth fueled his steps, pushing away the shadows of doubt. As he neared his home, the distance seemed to shrink under the weight of his anticipation. He rehearsed his plea for forgiveness, planning to ask his father to accept him as a hired servant. The shame of his past actions weighed heavily on him, making him feel unworthy of any familial title. Unknown to the son, his father had been watching the horizon for his return every day. When he finally saw his son's familiar silhouette, his heart surged with joy. Without a moment's hesitation, he ran towards him, his actions driven by an overwhelming love. The reunion was nothing short of miraculous. The father embraced his son, dismissing any talks of servitude. His actions spoke louder than any words could, enveloping the son in a blanket of unconditional love and acceptance. The father called for a grand celebration to mark the return of his lost son. "For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found," he proclaimed. The household buzzed with preparations, setting the stage for a joyous feast that would symbolize new beginnings and restored relationships. The grand feast was a sight to behold, with the father sparing no expense to celebrate his younger son's return. Music filled the air, and the joy was palpable, as everyone danced and shared in the happiness of the reunion. In the midst of the celebration, the older son was out in the fields, tirelessly working as he had always done. The distant sound of revelry reached his ears, sparking curiosity and confusion. Little did he know, the festivities were in honor of his brother. Upon discovering the reason for the feast, the older son's heart sank into a blend of anger and resentment. He couldn't fathom why his brother, who had squandered his inheritance, was being celebrated in such a grand manner. The father, noticing the older son's absence from the celebration, approached him with an invitation to join. Yet, instead of joy, the father was met with his eldest son's grievances, voicing how he felt overlooked despite his unwavering loyalty. The older son lamented that despite his years of obedience and hard work, he had never been honored with even a modest celebration. His words laid bare the pain of feeling unappreciated, contrasting sharply with the joyous atmosphere of the feast. The father's explanation to the older son reveals a profound truth about belonging and inheritance. He emphasized that everything he owned was already destined for the older son. This moment uncovers the depth of the father's equitable love, ensuring no child felt left out or less favored. Celebrating the younger son's return wasn't just a matter of festivity, but a testament to forgiveness and the joy of reconciliation. The father saw beyond the mistakes, focusing on the return of a lost family member, highlighting the essence of unconditional love. The story of the prodigal son is a powerful narrative that teaches the importance of forgiveness. It serves as a reminder that everyone deserves a second chance and that it's never too late to return home or mend broken relationships. Through the father's actions, we learn about an unconditional love that doesn't keep score. His love for both sons, despite their vastly different paths, showcases that true love is constant and unwavering, even in the face of betrayal or disappointment. This timeless parable encourages children to reflect on love, repentance, and the power of forgiveness. It illustrates that no mistake is too great to be forgiven, and that family and unity hold paramount importance in our lives. The story of the prodigal son beautifully illustrates the significance of family and the joy of reunification. It reminds us that despite the distances and differences that may arise, the bond of family offers a unique strength and support system, emphasizing the essence of togetherness. Through this narrative, children are taught a powerful lesson that no mistake is too grand to overshadow the capacity for forgiveness. It instills in them an understanding that love and acceptance within a family can triumph over the gravest of errors, fostering a culture of compassion and empathy.